name is Samantha Langenheim, and I'll be arguing against standardized testing. So to start off, standardized testing is a way to measure a student's educational abilities. Now, there's the CASPs or the CSTs, which middle schoolers had to take, and I had to take when I was a middle schooler. The state tests, the ACTs, SATs, again, CASPs, all these tests that are important to these students' lives, and that all colleges look at this, teachers, state schools, which determine if you're going to have a good career or not, or a good life. Pretty much that's what they're putting into these students' heads. If you don't pass this test, well, it's not very good. And now this creates a ton of stress for these students. They may have other problems to deal with, and now they have to deal with these tests mostly, like, oh, I need to pass this, and which leads to them taking any measure to pass these tests, such as cheating, performance enhancing drugs, doing whatever it takes to pass these tests. Now, teachers are more focused on teaching what is on this test than diving into the deeper knowledge of the subject that they're teaching. They're more focused on, let's only go over what's on the test, compared to let's learn this today, let's learn more about this, and go deeper with the curriculum and teach more important things. And these tests don't provide much feedback, and if there is feedback, it comes months later after the students are probably not even in school yet anymore, and that doesn't really help the students get better. It just shows them, you failed, you passed. These tests aren't very value creativity. Machines mostly grade these tests, especially the ABCs answers, and a student that wants to write an answer to explain why they're right or why it's this one, maybe to go more into explain or back it up with evidence, can't really do that because of the machine grading, and their creativity just goes down the drain, and it doesn't really take into consideration the diversity, like the students' learning styles, maybe they're low literacy in the English language, maybe they have different cultural backgrounds, maybe they have different learning styles. Maybe when they take the test, they need it loud, maybe they need it quiet, maybe they need it a certain way, maybe they need more time because each question just makes them maybe mentally just drained, and they need more support with it, maybe they need more comfortableness on these tests, and they don't really take into consideration. They treat everybody in none of these tests as identical, and they're all the same, and they can pass it no matter what, which isn't right, because a student can have a really bad day and maybe fail when they're not taking into consideration their street smart, their common sense, their emotional intelligence, or overall their student abilities compared to the entire year, rather than that bad day on that test. Maybe they're a straight A student who just happened to have failed on that test because they just woke up horrible that day. They don't really take in consideration their overall student abilities, only just how that one test is. And these standardized tests only pretty much favor those with economic advantages. If your economic advantage is getting a tutor and teaching them what's on this test more than a teacher will, and go over it more every day, and you're being able to pay for a tutor, and you're preparing for that test, going over different courses and programs that you've been paying for, compared to a student who may not have the money or the funds to go and get a tutor to help them be more prepared for this test. And pretty much, if you don't have the money and your school is in a low funded area, you're not going to get the same preparation as those in that higher cities with higher money values and such. And for an evidence is in an article according to the ACCD, and teachers in Texas were refusing to administer these tests, and they were protesting against their state tests because they didn't believe that the students should be taking them. And that concludes my argument.